All right, today is our first day working off leash with Luna. So we've been kind of doing drop leash at the park past couple days, and now we're trying to work off leash. You know, I'm a big believer, and if you want the dog to be better on leash, you got to start working off leash. She's a trickier case than most dogs because she is like a flight risk, where when she gets into that panic mode, you know, she might just take off on you. And so it's always safety first of not setting her up into a situation she's not ready for. So we just go to the middle of nowhere where there's no real escape route. And the idea is, how do we get her to want to be by us? And it's the same way we would do it in the backyard and anywhere else. You know, if we're in a fence, is get distance from her and get her wanting to be by me. So I just act as if I'm trying to get away from her. When she comes to me, food. And what we're trying to do is build like a little perimeter around us. So imagine there's just a 30-foot invisible perimeter around us. That's what I want her to just subconsciously stay in. So it's the idea of the dog doesn't have to see a leash to think that there is a leash on her, you know. So it's like as if there's an invisible leash on her. I would kind of use the e-collar to control that if she got outside the 30 feet, I would use the vibrate, and then that's where you would start using the shock if you started getting too far out. So if she got out past 30 feet, I would call her name and press the vibrate, and if she didn't listen, I would start going on a low-level shock, tap, 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 and getting her to say, oh, there's danger out here. There's sharks in the water. I better get back to the lifeboat. I'm the lifeboat, and you want her to start coming back to me. So you're trying to give her an easy path to success of, I'm where all the good stuff is. You start getting too far away, that's where the danger comes. And with her, I could see us not even having to do that, but that would be the strategy. I could see her wanting to stay by us unless she kicks off into a panic mode. But the whole thing is, how do I start steering her around with my motion? If she just follows me, and I can steer her around by just where I'm going. Because once we start getting that, that's when the leash, Home Depot, and all these things start going a lot better when they start getting, they already want to be by you. So like right now, say, hey, you got 1,000 acres out here. You could be wherever you want to. And her being like, well, why would I want to be anywhere but besides you? Once you can get the dog thinking that, that's where everything else comes together. The down, the heel, everything else comes together. If the dog wants to be by you, all you got to do is start shaping position. The down, the heel, all that stuff. So that's what we're doing today. We're just taking a long nature hike out here and getting her just say, oh, I'll just stick by you because you're the most valuable. You're disproportionately more valuable than anything else I could be doing right now. So we do this, and then, you know, do everything else we've been doing. But this is a big part of the whole thing, and we're kind of slow getting there with Luna because, like I said, she's a legitimate flight risk, and you're not trying to set her up for failure. But now that we got a pretty good bond going, me and her, it's like, all right, let's start working off leash a little bit more. Because once we can get that, this is going to be the glue that puts everything else together. So really, this is the first time having her off leash, and she's doing really good. So now we just want to kind of keep that momentum working for us.